Hello YouTube, so today I'm going to be talking about how to pass your CompTIA Security Plus certification, the SYO-601 certification exam. So currently I am 16 and I passed it yesterday, and right now I'm a high school student full-time and I was able to self-study it through different resources. So my total amount of time that I spent was 4 months total. However, 2 months of it was just waiting because of private reasons. Okay, so I made this list of 5 simple steps on what I gathered from myself, the best ways to study. I also passed Network Plus, and I'm pretty sure this is the best way to do it. So number one is plan your test date. So studies show that people are at their max cognitive ability at 8:30 a.m. So planning your test for the morning will um, give you an advantage in terms of quick thinking, and it will help you perform at your best of your ability. And before this, I suggest 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but not over that amount because then you'll become groggy, unless you're, of course, used to it. Okay, so the next step is to, of course, buy your discounted voucher through the Professor Messer store. So, Professor Messer, I have the link in this and I'll put it in the description, but he's a person who creates videos and also has a bunch of resources. I suggest buying the voucher through his website because he also provides an exam hack book that gives you advice for the test. And before that, for planning when to actually take your exam, it's different for most people. For students, of course, it's better on the weekend because school. And then for workers, people who work, Tuesday will probably be your best bet because there are rarely any meetings on Tuesday. And the second step is have someone to hold you accountable. So I've seen many people like me studying for Security Plus, people who have jobs, and I've noticed a common theme is that they don't have somebody to encourage them to take it fast. And when they don't have that, they're going to they're going to stall a lot and they'll like elongate their time for studying. And in reality they're essentially ready, but since they don't have somebody to push them, it will take longer than they probably need. So yes, have someone to hold you accountable. For me, I had a study group and we met quotas in terms of studying, and we also made prior arrangements on when to take our exam. So the third step is, of course, studying. As I said before, Professor Messer, he has a video course, and that's all you need. So for the steps, watch the videos carefully. It depends on how fast you are in thinking, but I did it with intensive concentration at 2 times speed. Fun fact, I also passed Network Plus, which I mentioned earlier, and what made it really easy for me to pass is his videos. And of course, I watched at 2 times speed intensively with intense concentration. Now, there are many questions like, do you really need the books? And to be honest, you really don't. But if you want to have just extra knowledge, CompTIA has an official ebook. But I would say you don't really need one. And of course, again, I'll put this document in the description, and this is his link to his video course. Practice exams. Of course, again, Professor Messer, he has the best practice exams and notes. I would say get his from his website. I'll also put this in the description. And I would say do 2 practice tests before your test date. And a comfortable percent to me is over 80%. And be very careful not to burn through all your practice tests because then you won't have a refresher before the actual exam. So save one for the day before the exam, so you have a refresher and also an assessment test. Okay, and then also his notes, which comes with this practice test if you buy the bundle, is also a good a refresher for studying. So let's just say you get something wrong on the practice test. He tells you the section on what you get wrong. You can go on the notes, then look what you get wrong, read the whole section, repeat for each question you got wrong. Okay, so In psychology, there's a thing called hindsight bias, and I believe that many people fall into this trap when they're taking practice tests. They see a question, they get it wrong, and they think, wow, that was a careless mistake. In reality, it was not. They actually got it wrong because they didn't know the actual answer. So I encourage you guys, when you're taking practice exams and you get a question wrong, you intensively read the explanation, make sure you understand it, and on addition to that, do extra research, whether it be looking at the notes or rewatching the videos. Now, for the actual exam, I would suggest waking up 2 to 3 hours before check-in. And many people say, "Oh, you shouldn't be too stressed," and that's true, and you shouldn't do anything. But I disagree with that about not doing anything. I would say you should warm up your brain by doing a few practice questions, because that's from my experience. When you don't do practice questions and you do the actual exam, there will be like a 5 minute time period where you're just like, what, and you don't really know what you're doing, and then it pops in, and that's 5 minutes wasted. And this type of test, time is very important, so time management is very important. I'll get to that later. So to warm up your brain, I would suggest doing Professor Mester's pop quiz. I put the link in the doc, and I'll put it in the description as well. And I'll suggest doing all of them. He also has the PBQs in the pop quizzes or in that section, so do that as well. And then also make sure you're hydrated, because hydration will help your thinking. But at the same time, you don't want to drink water before the exam, because, or it depends on you how strong your toleration is, but you want to use the restroom before you take the test for sure. And then right before the test, I would suggest doing relaxation techniques, whether it be praying, meditating, whatever works for you. And back to test taking skills. So super super important. There's gonna be 3 to 5 questions that are called performance based questions, and these are like things where drag and drop, where you have to like do stuff, configure stuff, and I would say skip those in the beginning, because your brain is best when it works from easy to hard, so it can warm up on the easy ones and then be ready for the hard ones. So skip the first 3 to 5 PBQs, go to the multiple choice questions, do those first, then go back to the PBQs. That's probably your best bet. And of course, I'll put this doc in the description. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you do well on your certification exam.